Good evening, folks. I'm here at D&D Pinball. Please introduce yourself and what D&D Pinball is.
I'm Gary Dillahunty. I am one of the D's in D&D Pinball. Is for me basically Gary Dillahunty and my wife Jane Decker. And this is our place, and we opened it up about a year ago.
What is your history with pinball in a nutshell?
Nutshell, I grew up playing pinball. I was not an arcade guy, and I still am not an arcade guy. It's just not my bag. So I grew up playing it as a kid. That was basically all the things that were around. And of course, back in the dating myself, but it was EMs back in those days, and just loved it. It was a great thing to do, just wonderful thing. And then just kind of lost touch with it by the time I got in my teens, and and then after that, you just find some machines beat up in a bar or something like that didn't work quite right or something or other, and just kind of got out of it. And kind of what got me back into it is we went to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and we met in Vegas for a soccer tournament out there for the nieces and nephews, and we discovered a Pinball Hall of Fame, and it's a life-changing experience.
So what do you think of the Pinball Hall of Fame the first time you went there?
Oh, it rocks. I think Tim Arnold's doing an awesome job. Love his EM collection. We have a ton of stuff from Twilight Zone and Medieval Madness and all those, but we also have quite a few EMs, and I'm actually an EM guy. It's like I just love the artwork on them, the play fields and stuff. So Tim's just got an incredible collection out there. Just like Michael out at the Pacific Pinball Museum out there, and yeah, it was really great. And not knowing what to expect, walk in and see a room full of pinball machines like that, and I played a Data Star Trek, first one I laid my hands on, and it's like right then my wife and I were like, must have pinball machines.
And you guys just picked up an EM here recently, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really great. It's like a guy in town donated one to us. It's kind of our mission here is, both my wife and I are engineers out of Raytheon, so we never did this to make money. We wanted to pay our rent, so it was more so, we just wanted to turn people onto pinball. And it's like, so when we do this, we adopt a local nonprofit charity every month. So most of everything we make above and beyond, once we pay our bills, we donate it back into the community. So in doing that, this guy, and we've been on TV a few times and different stuff, and somebody out there saw us and just liked our business motto, liked what we were doing and things like that. And he had an old 1964 Gottlieb North Star wedge head, and had it in his family, brought it out from Pennsylvania. They've had it for decades and stuff, and he was there, and he said, we don't play it much anymore, and I'd like to donate it to you guys, and for the most part, it's working. And yeah, so he gave it to us, so we just went, buddy of mine, Dave, and I went and picked it up, I think last weekend, and brought it in, so we're just getting going on it. It's in beautiful shape. It's actually a sample prototype game, which is kind of cool, which was a big surprise, but yeah, for the most part, it's working. I just ordered some stuff from Pinball Research.
What's
and
up?
We have an Indiana Jones.
What's up, Indiana Jones?
So it was great. So somebody donated a pinball machine. We picked different ones up here and there, but that was great of the guy. We really appreciate it, and people love seeing the old machines. It's like, and it's a great, and the North Star is just a wonderful playing game. It's a great game.
Yeah, this one that they just picked up, it's real nice. The back glass has like a millimeter or two of damage on it. Usually they flake and they flake and they flake, and it's going to turn out real nice when you guys bring it back to life.
Yeah, that's what's shocking is the playfield's in great shape. The back glass is amazing. It's like 99% there. It's got I think 2 or 3 little teeny pinholes in it where the bulbs have been. Other than that, the thing is just beautiful. It's incredible. So,
yeah, it must have been sitting a long, decades.
Yeah. In fact, when we got it, it had some of the veneer wood paneling on the front and the one side of it, so I have a feeling, back in the late 60s, early 70s, someone had it in their room, thought we need to blend this in better with our paneling, and they stuck that stuff to us, so we just got through peeling that off of it, which it came off really clean, so yeah, we're excited about it. It's a great machine.
So that was your newest one. What was your first pinball deal? What was your first buy?
We went out once we came back from the Hall of Fame. We were like, we came back, started searching Craigslist wherever we could find, and we came across a guy here in town, had a Captain Fantastic, and great machine, played it before, and he'd had it for 20 plus years at least, and he was moving back to Texas, and he was basically, I'm not dragging this damn thing back with me anymore. I've been dragging it around with me for years. So I went there, looked at it, the guy had a basement in his house, which is weird for Tucson. Went in there, checked it out. It's a really good playing machine, a few things wrong with it here and there. And of course, anybody that you talk to buy the first machine, they really don't know what they're buying.
No.
You know? And but for the most part it worked. But the other thing is I didn't even notice in the corner, and the guy had a Godzilla sitting in the corner, totally turned off over there. Never even seen a Godzilla, didn't know anything about it. And of course, you know, it's like, okay, well, what's with that machine over there? And before you know it, I'm making the guy a deal for 2 of them before I walked out the door. And turned it on, it seemed to play all right and everything. So anyway, so yeah, we went after our first pinball machine and walked out with Captain Fantastic and Godzilla, which now is an amazing find. You know, a lot of people may not be into the Segas or even the Godzilla, which is the multi-ball madness is all it is, but we love it. It's an awesome game, and the thing, luckily, it was just filthy, dirty, covered. It just, I couldn't see the playfield, which really protected the game. I think the guy is the original owner of the game, and it's just a beautiful playing game. It's got the shaker motor in it, and you know, I think there's one of those things. Sometimes I think the crappier the movie, the better the game. And,
oh yeah.
And I think Godzilla's starting to get a better following and get a little bit more respect, but because it is a good game. I mean, it is about multi-ball, but it's a fun game. The audio on it's great, and you know, you even got on there the Brooklyn Bridge Save Ferris, which is cool. Whole thing built into there, but yeah. So that was our first 2 machines, and it kind of went from there. Yeah, so it was cool.
So far, what has the reception been like to D&D?
It has been overwhelming. It was just like, in fact, when we first opened this place, I mean, it took us a couple months to get this place going, and we had a good friend of ours from work. His son did all of our murals for us on the wall, and just basically gave him 65 feet of wall and said, do what you want. Just make sure it's something to do with pinball. But, you know, it's kind of weird. We were setting this place up, and we had people coming by before there was ever a pinball machine in this place, and we have a huge roll-up garage door. People be stopping in the street in their cars going, hey, is this going to be that pinball place? You know, and this is like a month before we ever opened. And we opened our doors, and I think the first, gosh, it was after the first weekend, we were shell-shocked. I mean, we both went back and like, what the hell did we just do? You know, because I mean, there was just so many people in there, and it was just packed wall-to-wall people. And it's been great, and it's held up. And I mean, we have tons of people in here, and I always joke, I don't think I've ever been hugged by so many big hairy guys before in my life, because there's so many. I mean, everybody's so happy, just thanking us, and you know, just very appreciative that we're doing this, because basically all of these, this is our personal collection. These were all out of our house. We had them at home, in our basement, garage, wherever we had them, and we just basically wanted to bring them down here and share them with people. That was our whole business plan, and you know, cover our rent. And just because we have people coming over our house, really enjoying the games, and bringing their kids over, and their kids have never seen a pinball machine, and so yeah, and then that was our whole thing. We brought them out, and the reception's just been incredible. Super friendly people, you know, and couldn't be happier. It's kind of renewed our faith in humanity. You know, it's like we've met some great people that I know we'll be friends with the rest of our life.
Yeah, daughters with mothers and fathers, and sons with mothers and fathers, and
yeah, it's like, you know, we're close to the University of Arizona here, but we're in a really cool, kind of funky, sort of hippie part of town. So, I mean, any given time, you know, you'll have some parents in here with their 6-year-old playing, standing on little stools going at it, you know, and they're next to a college student, and then some other guy that's, you know, tattooed from head to toe, you know, and then there'll be a couple in here that are in their late 60s reminiscing about playing pinball. And everybody's in here, and everybody's gelling and just having a great time, and, you know, and everybody's talking about pinball, you know, which is cool.
Yeah, pinball brings people together, from what I can tell.
Oh, totally.
And it's a good competitive. It's never a bad competitive. I've never seen a fight or argument or something bad over pinball. You know, someone might be mad that someone got a deal. Like there's annoyances. Like, oh, you got that, I didn't. But no one ever like battles over like. There's no pinball hooligans, like football hooligans. They don't exist.
No, we have monthly tournaments here, and it's great. We usually cap at 25. They fill up really fast. You know, get 25 people in here, and everybody's awesome. And it's just great. And I usually tell people ahead of time, you know, before we start, it's like, hey, you know, this isn't really about pinball. It's not about winning the thing. This is about just hanging out and talking to your fellow pinballers. A lot of these people see each other in here every weekend, you know, and they pass by and don't really know each other. And with that, it gives everybody a good time to visit, and it's just a friendly, awesome time. And it's like we have our tournaments every month, and everybody's just rocking and cheering the other person on. And you know, and when they get done, we have a big blackboard up there, put the top 3 winners on, and yeah, it's a good time. There's no doubt about it.
And you recently held the IFPA state championship, is that right?
Yeah, we just had, like, most of the guys are up in the Phoenix area, and yeah, that was pretty cool. They kind of called us, and you know, this is the only place in Arizona that's like this. You know, there's no other places around. You know, the guys up there, great guys in Phoenix. You know, really good group of people, and you know, but most of their games in other people's houses, so they kind of have to combine games or go to someone's house to play. So they talked to us about it, and I know some of the guys have been down here playing, and you know, they're really happy with the shape of our machines, because you know, we have you know, we run off volunteers. It's like we just have a great, you know, a few volunteers that comes in, and we find something wrong with the game, we're on it. You know, we flip it, we're rebuilding it, we're doing whatever we can to keep up with them. So yeah, so that was great. They had it was the Arizona Pinball Players League that the guys up there, they came down for the IFPA state championships, and yeah, it was a really good experience. It was fun. Had a great time. We had to shut down for the day because it was on a Saturday, and we told all our die-hard pinballers, you know, to come in every day. They were totally cool with it, and yeah, we had a good state championship here, so it was fun that we were able to hold that here. It was a good time.
That's you know, kicking off with a bang, because you know, state championships is big.
Yeah.
And you have to have the right facility. You can't just do it in someone's back porch, or you know, you can't just say, oh, we'll rent a space. It has to be a pinball spot.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what they're looking for here. And a couple of the guys came down, you know, a week before and just went through our games, you know, one by one, and just checking to make sure all the switches are working and stuff like that. And you know, luckily they were honest about it, and they said all of our games are in really good shape. We just needed a few tweaks here and there. But yeah, it worked out well. Just a good place for it. It's just like an open warehouse. Again, big roll-up garage door, just open rafters and stuff, and it's just a good atmosphere and plenty of room. They come down here and have their tournament. So it turned out well. We were happy about it.
Yeah, this place is a lot neater and a lot more. It's a lot neater than as advertised on the website. On the website, you can tell it's going to be neat, but you just can't tell the atmosphere until you get here. In the area, you just turn the corner and you're in this, you know, hip, you know, cool, you know, enjoyable area. It's not. They're not just in the middle of nowhere. You know, you can walk around the corner. I got a Philly cheesesteak, you know, a block away. That was worth waiting for. Typically, food's not worth waiting for these days, but
yeah, it's a real cool area of town. You know, I'm born and raised Tucson, and yeah, it's like the 4th Avenue district. Really cool. It's all 100% local businesses. There's people down here doing their best, and you know, they have cheesesteaks, or actually it was Lindy's, which is just hugely famous for the burgers. It rocks. It's a little teeny place. You couldn't ask for better burgers around. And you know, there's Brooklyn Pizza on the other side of the road. It's a 100% solar powered pizza place, just rocking good pizza. You know, and it just goes on and on. There's all sorts of funky shops and different stuff going on in downtown. You know, there's a couple blocks away, and there's a bunch of cool restaurants and, you know, down there, and people doing their thing. So that's a cool thing. We're right in the middle of all that, you know, and it's just like people just walk by, so we get a lot of walk traffic again. You know, it's like we'll have a door up, and people just walk by, and it's just like you see people like, oh. And it's just like, and then they come rolling in, you know. So it's a cool part of town, no doubt about it. And the businesses and everybody down here have been incredible. I mean, we hear from the business owners and stuff. And in fact, our local tournaments, when we have them every month, they come to us and they give us things like, you know, Lindy's. They give us a $25 gift certificate for their place. There's Ordinary Bike Shop next door, which is a great place for bikes. You know, David Tang, the owner of that, he always gives us a gift certificate to hand out for prizes. And Tap and Bottle is like one of the best little places you can go to for beers. Is a block and a half away, and they're great. And they always give us, you know, something like a growler of beer, you know, of choice for anybody that wants to get it. Of course, as long as you're of age. So yeah, the businesses, everybody around it, it's just been incredible. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
And you know, it's hard to ask people about their favorite games, so I'm amending my questions, being so vague about. There's 500, 600 games out there. What is one of your favorite DMD? Solid state, and EM, because you like all generations. What are one of each of those eras that, you know, it's just an all-time favorite?
So, my holy grail of pinball machines, and I do not have one, is Attack from Mars. It's just one of those games. I don't know why. I mean, everybody's got it. If you're a pinball person, everybody's got that game. You go play it. If it's whatever, you play it out of the blue. If you walk up to Godzilla or whatever it is, or Medieval Madness, and it's like, it just hits you. And it's like, and the first time we ever played Attack from Mars, it was like, this is it, you know. And I thought, and then after a while, you know, I hadn't played it for a while. I thought, maybe it's whatever. And I played it again, and it's like, wow. And I think the last time we were up at my wife's sister up in Spokane, their brother-in-law, they live up in Spokane up there, and we were in a little place called the Mosey Inn, just snowy, crappy up there, you know, for the weather. I mean, for being from Tucson, it's kind of
Yeah.
weather. But it was cold and snow on the ground. We were in the industrial part of town, this old bar, and then there's a little teeny room in the back, and I had the fake AstroTurf, and there was an attack from Mars in there, and Matt's family, and this, and they're all pretty beat. And it's like, and, you play it, and even though that game was beat, it was like one of the last times I played. I'm like, this game just rocks. It's just like, it's just, I don't know what it is about the game, but it's really cool. It's just incredible. So yeah, one of those, and the EMs, it's really hard. I mean, out of our collection that we have right now, you know, I love Grand Prix. You know, it's a 76 EM. We picked it up in Idaho, not working, and it's just a really cool game. It's really clean. I love the artwork on it. It plays nice. It's got the cool chimes, the spinners, and to me, that sounds like being a kid. You know, you hear that and it takes you back immediately. So, but you know, there's definitely some other ones. You know, when I'm at the Pacific Pinball Museum or Hall of Fame, you know, those guys, both those guys, they just have some great EMs. It would be tough to choose. And for those, to me, it's the sound and the way they play. They're a lot harder to play too. You know,
right.
It's like they're incredibly hard. You get someone that can just rock on Medieval Madness, and you put them on an old EM, it's like a totally different story for them.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, there's just a ton of great EMs. I just love the artwork on them, love the sound, love everything about them.
And you have one solid state here I spent a lot of time on is Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously it's Roger Sharp.
Right.
Shooter. And it's a fun game. It's just it's under control. You know, Medieval Madness, you can, if you're good, you can have a 30-minute long game. I mean, my best game was like 800 something million.
Mm-hmm.
It was I don't even know how long. It was like eternity. And but you know, Sharpshooter, I think I had a 4-minute long game, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, 500,000 points. It's like I got all the drop targets once.
Yeah, it's a really tough game, and it's one of those, you know, I mean, you read the design notes on that. I think they did a really big article on Pinball Magazine, the first edition, Roger Sharp, and they talked a lot about Sharpshooter. And you know, it's coming down the left side over there when it comes off the chute off the left. If you don't bump the game, it's going down the center. You know, end of story. So it's like there's a lot of thought into that game, and it's like you say, it's hard. It's like I watch people play it, and those games are set to quarters. REMs and then Sharpshooters in there. I mean, it's a solid state, and it's like you watch people, and man, balls are gone fast. You know.
Unfortunately, it's 5-ball, so it's you know, you're like, okay, I'm still going.
Yeah, and that's one thing we do too. It's like we set our games on just a medium play. The other games, you know, it's like you know, some of them we get 5-ball. There's a lot of them we don't. A lot of them are 3-ball because people get good enough. It's like they'll be on the machine forever. You know, especially people get going. But yeah, even with the 5-ball machine, it's tough to play.
Well, I enjoyed my trip here. They have one of the nicest Doctor Dudes.
Yeah.
I've played on Route Anywhere, Doctor Who. I played Anywhere, and Ripley's Believe It or Not, hands down is the nicest playing one I played anywhere. If any viewers live in Arizona or are going to be visiting, I highly recommend D&D Pinball. Thank you for your time.